So, where were we? My entire quote unquote career on social media started off unexpectedly. I was a regular poster, you know, putting up things that I thought were good for other people to see, hoping to get some laughs, maybe some thumbs up. Until one day, out of nowhere, something hit me. Maybe it was boredom, maybe it was a spiritual force, a divine force, or maybe just random coincidence. And I picked up my phone and I walked outside in this very apartment. And I said a string of words that, again, came to me just then. Because most things that I do in life that are worth noting happen randomly and without my expectation. And because I never know when such things arise, I shoot from the hip all the time. Because a man who asks a question is fool for a day, but a man who never asks a question is fool for a lifetime. So I figure I'll ask all the questions I can, hoping to get some answers, and some of those being true. So I picked up my phone and I went outside. And I said, "Good morning, my fellow life forms," or as Phantom would put it. "My name is Tumultuous, and I am here with a team of time travelers. We have a goal, a task that we must accomplish, or else it's bad news bears for all of us on the planet. And that is to get everyone, or most of them, thinking the same way. So it's not going to be easy, but let's go over the rules. Number one, you do exist, which is actually very important. And without that rule, none of the other ones matter. But that's pretty much the same for all of them. What do I mean by you exist? Well, some people would say that we're in a simulation, like computers, the Matrix. Other people would say that we are living in life as the only beings in this entire universe. A third group would tell you that there's aliens. A fourth group would tell you that there's interdimensional beings. Put that all aside. Whatever your beliefs, I respect them, truly. But I would respect them even more if you believed them wholeheartedly, because that is more important to me and the rest of the team. This I'm saying to you now. That wasn't in my first video. There's a reason for that. So I put my phone down and I walked away. Like I said, I'm not an avid poster, so I just figured, hey, maybe I'll get some of this message out there. Because before I made that post, I guess I thought about it and what is my goal in life? What, as a man, am I doing here other than wasting time, consuming food and resources to do things that pleasure me and those around me? So I figured, well, I know a couple of things. Who really knows anything, though, you know? I think the time has proved time and time again that the only thing that is certain in this life is that nothing is certain. If physics says this is the law, then 100 years from now, physics will say we were sorry. If the New York Times publishes an article in 1920 that says a rocket will never go into space, a couple of decades from them, it will publish another article saying that we're sorry. If the Vatican says the aliens don't exist, but then their nativity scene depicts an astronaut, so it shall be. Nothing is certain. I picked up my phone a couple of days later, and I was appalled at what I saw. I don't remember exactly how many, but there was a bigger number of followers and likes that I had ever seen in anywhere that had to do with me. Since then, and I was like overwhelmed, because 99 is the maximum amount of notifications it gives you, and it was 99 plus. And I looked and it was thousands of comments. To tell you the truth, if I was to read every comment that's ever been written on any of my posts, it would probably take me the rest of my life. On one post alone, there's like 14,000 comments. And this is the difference between what I post on my accounts and some of the other accounts I see with a lot of followers. Creation is creation. if you create and you have 1,000,000 followers or 10,000 followers or one follower, you're already making the world better by adding value. What kind of value doesn't really matter. However, you could be perpetuating negative emotions or positive ones. The thing I'm trying to say is that I believe that the content I post and the reactions I get are powerful. Not better or worse than anyone else, just powerful in a different sense. Because it would take me longer to respond to a comment than I would say most people that create dancing videos. A lot of questions, which is the hardest part. What I realized is that I didn't know shit about what I was posting. Really. But the thing with me is, as interesting as it seems, the way I work most of the time in any aspect of life is I guess. I use my better judgment to make an educated guess. I mean, that's the best anyone can do, no? But the thing with me is I always told myself from the very beginning, if you're gonna lie, or if you're gonna talk about something that you don't have an idea in, do it with certainty. Be sure of yourself, even if you're blatantly not knowing what the fuck you're talking about. And I've realized that over time that when you do that, people that also don't know what you're talking about will believe what you're saying because you're saying it with such certainty. In fact, I myself have been fooled by people speaking with certainty about things I knew that were not true and caused me to doubt my own beliefs and knowledge. Interesting, huh? Most people in this world, they're more followers than leaders. Because as it turns out, or from my experience, leadership is not something that is bestowed or given. Leadership is something that can be learned, but only through great discipline. What leadership is most of all is being certain in where you're going and what you're doing. Because most people are not. Most people, including everyone, me and anyone else, including leaders, look for reassurance in the immediate area. From anything. From the ground, from the earth, from other people. And if they can find reassurance, they're happy and they proceed. Leadership is the people that do not look for reassurance because they do not need to. Because they know for a fact that what they stated is true to them. Because, let me tell you something right now. There are people in this world that would sit in a room and you were going to enter that room and you're going to tell them that Santa Claus doesn't exist. You would close the door, you would sit down and have a chat with them, and after about 15 minutes, you would get up and you'd walk out of that room, closing the door behind you and proclaiming to all the other people on the other side that there really is a Santa Claus. Not because you're not a very good negotiator, but because the reality is so true to the person in that room, so pure, that it actually wears off onto you. And if you're lacking in that sense, in personality and character, it will fill that void with their certainty. That's leadership. I was speaking to someone the other day on the internet, a young kid, he's 18. And he goes, I want to lead, I want to be the leader. And I said, no one ever becomes the leader by saying, I want to be the leader. No man or woman walks onto a rank of an army and says, I'm your new leader, here we go. No one's successful anyway. Because I look at it as a restaurant kitchen, which could be compared to military in one way or another. Of course, not nearly as heroic or dangerous, but the hierarchy, the ranks, and the obedience factor has to be similar. Because if it's not, a restaurant will not succeed, much like a rank will not succeed if no one listens to the command. So just from the restaurant industry, I know that if you walked onto the line of line cooks or from an experienced restaurant and you told them that you were their new boss, you either have to have hands for knives or knives for hands, or be one of all of their relatives, because you would get spit up and chewed out. Because they know that a person with no experience says that. A leader does not walk onto the ranks and says, I am the leader. A leader walks onto the ranks and does whatever the ranks do. So if there's 3 guys sweeping, if there's 3 guys mopping, and if there's 3 guys polishing, and there's 2 guys dusting, the leader will start to dust. And after he finishes that, he will help the guys mopping, sweeping, not saying a word other than, please allow me to help you. And then the leader does things his or her way, regardless of what they're doing, unless he's told otherwise by his superior. And if he's true and honest and confident about how he does it, no matter what it is, he will become the leader no matter what. If I'm sweeping the wrong way, or if I'm filleting the fish the wrong way, but I'm doing it with confidence, the old guy that's been on that station for 20 years will come up to me and say, hey, quietly, let me do one real quick. Just watch me. Or he'll say, excuse me, may I please? I would bet my friend there couldn't do one. And then he would fillet the fish in front of you, showing you the right way to do it without blowing up your spot. If you can take that with humility and thank him, you will become the leader like that. Because listen to me, I've been the chef de cuisine, the sous chef, the line cook, the busboy, the waiter, the bartender, the assistant general manager of a restaurant. And I can tell you that there are grill guys out there that could kill me in grill. Fish guys out there that could fillet a fish with their eyes closed better than I can using a laser. And do you know why? Because that's what they do. So when I see that, I respect that. I'm not better than anyone. In fact, I could learn something from everyone without asking for anything in return. There was a question the other day, I think it was on a dating website questionnaire, and it said, what do you like to do when no one's looking? And I wrote, the right thing. Because more often than not, that is the most rare occurrence. And if you try doing that, do the right thing when no one's looking. Most people would ask, why? Why should I do the right thing when no one's looking? Because that's showing yourself that you are in respect of the person that you are. And be confident. I heard a wonderful quote today. It said, we do not dare because things are difficult. Things are difficult because we do not dare. Now think about that. It took me a minute for it to sink in. We don't step out of our comfort zone because it's difficult. Things are difficult because we stay in the comfort zone and we don't step out. Because if you stepped out of your house every day and took a different path to work, to school, wherever, 100 different times, then the 101st day, no matter which path you chose or fell into your lap, you'd be prepared for it. Events do not measure a man, or a woman for that matter. It is the way we react to these events that measure you. Do not wish for things to be the way you want them to be. Wish for things to be and happen the way they would, and for the strength for you to enjoy it. Because that's what it is. Ultimate wealth at the end of the day. They say you're reaching nirvana, opening your third eye, and not the perception kind, the real third eye. Achieving enlightenment is having ultimate wealth of the spirit. And the only way to do that is to be happy with what you have at any point in time. Because then you won't want anything else. If you're happy with what's going on, you're not going to have desire. How do I not have desire? Just be content. Because as a species, we always want more. More money, more things, more girlfriends, more friends, more likes, more views, more anything, more appreciation and attention from people we don't know. You see how ridiculous that sounds? And people sacrifice the one thing that is the most important and the one thing that we probably should be stingy with the most. Time. Even though it doesn't exist. The one thing that we never get back we're the most arrogant with. We act like there's no end of any days, and then we complain that life's too short. How many times have you looked at your phone, closed an app, and 30 seconds later you opened it? It used to happen with the fridge. When you had nothing in it but were hungry, you would check the fridge like 15 times as if something was going to appear there. That's just an example. There's a reason you don't see your phone in your dreams, yet you spend most of your day looking at it. It's because your subconscious knows better. You don't see clocks in your dreams either because your subconscious knows that time isn't really a thing. If you could teach yourself how to read in dreams, that is a big step forward. But one of the things that helps is dreams, or our dreams, because like I've said before, whether you realize it or not, a subconscious mind is a part of you just as your foreground conscious. In fact, it's a bigger part of you because you're not aware of any of it, or most of it. But it's always there, it's always on and working. Everything that you're implanting into it by saying words, which are spells, by the way, if you didn't know that. Have it your way. Huh? Nike, just. Yeah, exactly. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm. What do you think that is? It's called spells. Magic spells. The weather outside is frightening. Frightful. But the fire is so. Simply no place to go. Let it. Yeah. Those are spells. You know them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United. Yeah. By the dawn's early light, oh so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour. Spells. And the more you recite these spells, the more they affect you and the people next to you or around you, because you're not hearing my voice right now by magic, right? I'm not sitting in your room. I'm projecting these vibrations into a phone that's shooting it up into space, bouncing it off a satellite and into your phone. You know, we laugh at magic, Wiccan, witches, warlocks, but how the fuck are you hearing my voice right now? What do you think that is? Oh, it's science. Okay. And what do you think fucking lucid dreaming is? Magic? You can't lucid dream. Yes, you can. You can teach yourself physical things that you've never done before through dreaming about them if you can control it. Like a perfect tennis serve. Just watch tennis for 5 hours a day for a week until you dream about it. Or practice a lucid dreaming technique, dream about tennis, and then practice a serve as long as you can. And then get out the next day when you wake up, go to a tennis court, grab a racket and a ball and hit it, and you watch what happens. Maybe it won't be 145 mile an hour, no. But it's going to be better than you thought you would do. I've learned 2 things that I can remember or can recall through dreaming. One was silly, one was not so much. I don't know how many things I've, that I don't know about, but 2 things for a fact that I've learned from dreaming. But they weren't lucid. There were dreams in which I could control what I'm doing, but I couldn't control the environment. See, the thing is, whenever I dream about something, I just accept it as reality. If I dream I'm a dolphin, then fuck it, I'm a dolphin. That's just how my mind works. And as I was this dolphin swimming in this ocean, I don't know what my purpose was, what the goal was, but I remembered that, oh shit, I need to learn how to swim the butterfly, because I knew how to swim the other strokes, but the butterfly was just not working for me. And the reason was you have to alternate your arms and your legs. And most beginners simultaneously, so they don't go anywhere. They're just, you're supposed to go arms first, then legs, arms first, then legs. So as a dolphin, I thought, man, let me practice this. Maybe I could get it when I have to swim. And I should have woken up right there because, when I have to swim, like I knew I wasn't a fucking dolphin, but I took the liberty to practice. And then my alarm rings at 6 o'clock in the morning for my first out of the 3-a-day practices we did. And for the 200-yard warm-up, I jumped into the pool after stretching, and I remembered that dream. And I said, oh shit, that's how I was doing in that dream. I remember. And I swam the butterfly. Period. That's it. Another thing that happened was working at a restaurant. And if you ever worked at a restaurant, you'd know that there's at least one staircase that's pretty dangerous or deadly. Maybe not, but you know what I'm talking about. That one staircase. Narrow, creepy. Stairs look like they're about to fall apart. Or maybe just too slippery. And I would have to run up down these stairs at this fucking restaurant so many times a day because the food was downstairs, the kitchen was upstairs because it was brilliantly designed. So one day I had a dream that was looking for treasure, like an Indiana Jones National Treasure type thing. And I was on this winding staircase at the top of one, and it was a monster going down and down and down and down. And then I saw these little, like, gnomes or demons or whatever the fuck they were. They're small, about half the size of a man. And they were flying down these stairs as if they were on skis, but they weren't. So instead of walking down the steps, they were brrr. And one flew right by me. And he laughed as he went by. Playfully. So I ducked and I flew right after him in the dream. And then I woke up, went to work, looked at the staircase, and I remembered the dream again. And I was like, I know this. And without thinking, and without fear, nothing, and I went down the staircase. And I made it, holding it the same exact way I did in my dream, but it wasn't a windy, no gnomes. But there was a guy down the stairs at the end of it, and he looked at me and he goes, the fuck do you do that? And I was like, I dreamt about it. And he looked at me even weird, more weird. I wouldn't be telling you these stories if they weren't true. There's a reason for me to make this up. But there is a reason for me to tell you this because I believe that very soon, and I'm trying to get a date for you guys, but I don't know. And even if I did know, I probably wouldn't divulge because I don't want to be wrong. I don't like dates because I don't like to be wrong. Unless I'm causing the event to happen. Very soon we're going to realize that we're not alone in the universe, unless you guys already know that for a fact. And two, we're not even close to the top of the food chain, which I knew for a long time as well. We're not special by any means, but we're not alone. And if you are a Neanderthal about this whole thing, which is ooga booga, I'm a caveman, no way, then you're fucked. But if you have an open mind, and you could be humble and learn, and let that old dude show you how to fillet a fish, then you will discover a gift, or two, or three. A gift that you didn't know you had, but you always felt. Because I'm sure to tell you that every single human being that watches this fucking video knows that there's something more. And don't look at me and tell me that you didn't. Whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's no God, whether it's aliens, you know that there's something more. And if you don't, go to a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and tell yourself, there is nothing more to life than this. And then watch yourself laugh at yourself through the mirror. If you have the balls. Everyone's talking about it. Some of them have been talking about it for a long time. One of the biggest surprises I've heard in the past couple of months is Mike Tyson speak. Iron Mike Tyson. There's a lot of people out there that come to Jesus and spiritual and my demons are released. Mike, the Iron Mike Tyson, is a demon personified. He's the epitome of a beast of a man. And if you heard him speak today, you would understand what the difference is between enlightenment and bullshit. He was on the Rogan podcast, I don't know how long ago, but I saw it the other day. And Mike asked Joe about his fighting days. Mike didn't want to talk about him. He wanted to ask Joe, and Joe went into detail about his fighting days. And he goes, you must have been in some kind of mindset, huh? You're crazy. You can't be in the right mindset to want to fight other human beings. And Rogan admitted to it. He goes, yeah, I was scared. I was moving around a lot and always bullied, you know. Iron Mike Tyson. My friends, there's a lot of you on the other platform that say, I look familiar, you know me. But you don't know from where. Some people say I'm Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, fucking, what's his name, Chris Daughtry. I'm none of those things, but you do know me, and there's a reason why. It's because I exude that confidence of which I spoke in everything I post. Whether it's comical, bullshit, not. That confidence is what you know. It's the energy, the same or similar energy that in which you're hearing my voice, which is electromagnetic, by the way. I exude when I make those posts, and you resonate with. I don't have too many friends. It is what it is. I don't trust very much people, but I think there's more shame in not trusting your friends than being betrayed by them. That's my problem, or was. I have a lot of things to pay for, I suppose. But one thing I could tell you is this. Don't walk behind me, because I might not lead. Don't walk in front of me because I might not follow. Walk beside me. And just be my friend. That way we'll get along. Remember, we do not dare because things are difficult. Things are difficult because we do not dare.